Yes, people, good morning. Welcome to Stretford Paddock. This is the news. I am Adam McClaren. Hope you guys are all doing well back here on Stretford Paddock every single morning with the news. As you can see, not outside Old Trafford today, but we've still got your Manchester United news. And before we get stuck into that, make sure you are hitting that subscribe button, liking this video, and getting your thoughts in the comments below. We have got loads to get stuck into today, including reports on Rangnick's future at Manchester United and how that could look. PSG being linked with Paul Pogba. Obviously, that's an easy one for any team to make happen now. We also hear about Erik ten Hag and how he could be bringing back a former Manchester United man as part of his staff, and further information on the release clauses of Ten Hag and Poch, as it all kind of starts to boil down to a 50-50 battle between those two. Who will the Manchester United board go with remains to be seen, but those are the rumours. We'll be discussing all of that, so make sure you're getting your thoughts in those comments below, liking, commenting, sharing, and of course subscribing and all that as well. How you guys been doing? Obviously difficult times for Manchester United. The season's basically over. You know, Man City, Liverpool doing well. You know, it's even worse when you're doing badly and your nearest rivals are doing well, and especially when it's them two and they're fighting for the Premier League and the Champions League, and you're on the outside with your nose pressed up against the window looking in. It is bad times, but I suppose after all the success we had over those years, we deserve this period of time, didn't we? Cycles, eh? Cycles. We'll be back. Don't worry about that. Fingers crossed. Anyway, in the Mirror this morning, we hear that Erik ten Hag has a 1.68 million release clause. We've heard that rumoured before. We heard 2 million euros, which is around 1.68 million. And Mauricio Pochettino's exit from PSG is also unlikely to cost more than £4 million in terms of compensation. So when you're looking at it, Manchester United won't have to pay much in terms of compensation for both of them. Now, I initially thought that would give Ten Hag, you know, a little bit more of a chance to become Man United manager, because United would have to deal with PSG. They haven't actually sacked Pochettino. And if United are interested in Pochettino, why would they sack him? Because then they can hold on to a manager to the end of the season and get some money for him. Of course, that they may still sack him, and you know, who's to say PSG really need the money, especially when it's £4 million. But I didn't believe it was that low, and it is. So the release clauses of both these managers are reportedly quite attainable for Manchester United, and we wouldn't be breaking the bank at all. The noise about Ten Hag is getting louder and louder. The noise about Poch is still that he's in the frame, and we're hearing that it's been reduced. Andy Mitten did an article yesterday where he said the Lopeteguis and the Luis Enriques are sort of out of the frame now, because of Manchester United and because of their own situations. And now Manchester United are looking to go with either Ten Hag or Poch. Andy Mitten also reported yesterday that Steve McClaren has given Manchester United a glowing assessment of Erik ten Hag, and said he had the right attributes to succeed provided he gets the right network around him, which is what every Manchester United man has been saying. Richard Arnold will primarily be guided by John Murtough and Darren Fletcher from a football perspective, and has now become involved in discussions and meetings around Ten Hag and Pochettino. Both of them would like to manage Manchester United. They've had several rounds of meetings with regards to the next manager, beginning 6 weeks ago, and following a period of detailed research and consultation, which included the views of several former United players. I hope it was players that, you know, have been in and around some of these coaches, because I'd hate to hear we're asking people's opinions where, like, if you just look at pundits these days, I love Wayne Rooney. You know, I saw him the other day say United should build their team around McTominay and Lingard. Like, not all the time do these superstars and these heroes and these legends of the club know what they, you know, or have the right advice, or know what it's like to even manage Manchester United. Being a player is completely different. Now, in relation to, you know, we heard Andy Mitten mention Steve McClaren's thoughts there and him giving a glowing assessment of Erik ten Hag. Now, he worked with him, and Jamie Jackson has also reported that Steve McClaren is under consideration for a return to Manchester United as Ten Hag's number 2, should the Dutchman be appointed. That's because he knows the Premier League, he knows Manchester United. Ten Hag was Steve McClaren's assistant at FC 20 in 2008-09. So it'd be an interesting, you know, circle of events. Got Ten Hag going from his assistant to now him being Ten Hag's assistant. But it kind of makes sense. And you know, when we hear about these guys, oh, he used to be at Man United, so let him have a job. You think, why are we doing this? There's no need in doing that. But actually, Steve McClaren's one would probably make sense. Do you know what I mean? When you look at the facts that he's been in the Premier League, he's been at Manchester United, he was part of the staff when we won the treble. You know, he's been to Holland, he's been a successful manager. And whilst he isn't a great manager, or is not a manager that we'd want, you know, at Man United, he is a fantastic coach. You know, whenever you hear reports about how good he is as a coach, they're always positive. So Steve McClaren could be a good addition to that backroom staff, and it'd be better to see someone like that than, I don't know, making Patrice Evra bloody director of football or something. Again, I love Patrice Evra, but all that stuff just doesn't make sense. This one makes a little bit more sense. It does look low at the minute as if we're going between Ten Hag or Poch, and that's pretty much where we've expected to be as Man United fans. Fingers crossed. Like I've said before though, I don't care for either of them, not in a negative way either. I don't care if we get Ten Hag, I don't care if we get Poch. For me, they'd both be positive recruitments by Manchester United. We also hear reports in France that the PSG sporting director Leonardo has clearly insisted with staff at the club to complete the transfer of Paul Pogba. Now, Paul Pogba obviously available on a free in the summer. He can speak with clubs now. There has been talk about him potentially staying at Manchester United, although I'm not expecting that. Him potentially moving to PSG. You hear talks about Kylian Mbappe maybe being persuaded to stay. You know, adding Paul Pogba into the mix there. When you look at what their owners are doing at the club, it's all been geared around this next upcoming World Cup and all those kind of things. Owning PSG, having the World Cup, all those kind of things. They need to keep Kylian Mbappe, and they'll be splashing the cash. And while they don't need to splash out on a transfer fee, you know, Paul Pogba will be looking for big money, and they're probably one of the very few clubs who can do that at this moment in time, because the clubs like Juventus or Real Madrid, potential other clubs where he wants to go, they're probably not interested in really opening the budget in terms of wages. Now, something I've seen this morning which just kind of made me roll my eyes and just say typical Manchester United is this one. Ralph Rangnick is set to work just 6 days a month when he begins a consultancy role at Man United this summer. It will constitute 144 days of work should Rangnick remain until 2024. Just like Man United, get someone who knows about football, who knows about recruitment, networking, scouting, all those different things, and someone that could be an ideal director of football, and then just tell him, mate, you're part-time. I know. And we only want a little bit of advice from you, which we're probably not going to even accept anyway. Bit of a mad one. But just typical Manchester United, has someone like Rangnick, don't know how to use them. Let's hope that doesn't affect the next manager, although probably will. Who do you want to be the next manager, Ten Hag or Poch? Get your thoughts in the comments below and let us know what you thought about everything else we've discussed today. Until next time, I have been Adam McClaren. Out of here.